Remember when I told you that we're predictably irrational when it comes to money and somebody takes advantage of that? Folks, we're talking about the truth versus the lie today. So every real estate investor I know keeps some cash on the side for repairs and maintenance. Let's say they have several $1,000s in that fund. It's sitting, that their fund to make repairs on their building is sitting in a fund, a reserve fund, in a bank, in a savings account. Sometimes it's in a checking account. But let's say it's in a savings account where it's making at least 0.1%. All that money is sitting in a bank account because we keep it on the side for repair. It's smart to keep money available for repairs and maintenance, and the fact that some of your apartments or some of your units, some of your doors may go unrented for a while. So you have to have a backup, right? You have to have a backup, and that's okay. But what if you have some cash and you have more than you need, right? And it's sitting in the bank. Let me give you an example of what could be done. You know how much is going into that reserve fund every month. Let's just say that you're in a position where you're doing well and you could put, let's say, $5,000 away in your reserve fund, and you take the rest of the money and you're investing the rest of your money that you're making on your buildings. Okay. So on this one building, you're going to say, let me take a look at what I'm doing here. And what if I borrowed $19,000 from myself out of this reserve fund? $19,000. It's about, let's just round it up to $20,000. Let's just take that, put it on this mortgage. Look what happens. I'm paid down to line 12. And here's how you need, real estate investors, here's how you need to look at this. You're moving the loan from point A to point B. You're moving the loan from how much you owe, all right, $957,000, all right? You're moving to how much you owe down to how much you owe now, $938,000. So you're moving it from point A to point B, from the starting point to the principal balance you would have on line 12. Now, here's what I want to ask you. How much does it cost you in interest to do that? If you do it the bank's way, it costs you $47,448 to move it from point A to point B. If you borrow the money from yourself out of that bank account that's making 0.1%, and apply it to principal on line 1, you're paid down to this point in 1 month. 1 month. And it doesn't cost you $47,448.24 to pay it down to here. It only costs you $3,991.40. Come on, folks. Do you see it? Here's the truth of the matter. So, thank you, sir. Come on. That is amazing. That's why we're here. Kirk Nugent with the P.I.L.L method, Don Daniel right here, giving you this information, making sure that you have something that you can go home with and study up on some more. Get the book, get the book, get the book. I can't tell you enough. Get the book and start reading it. Do you know how many people call me on a daily basis and say, I'm reading your book. I've read your book. You know what kind of feeling that is? That somebody read the book and is getting benefit out of it, and now they're teaching their children. But this kind of thing. And now, let's finish this example up. I just took $20,000 out of my savings account. Okay, now finish this. Just took $20,000 out of my savings account, applied it to this mortgage, just saved myself $43,000 to pay it down to the same place that the bank wants me to pay them $47,000 of my hard-earned dollars to them to move the mortgage from point A to point B. We moved it from point A to point B for only $3,991, the interest on line 1. There it is. which is way better, Okay. Now, what if I don't do anything at all until I can replace the money I borrowed from myself? I got to pay myself back. Now, remember, we're putting about $5,000 a month into this thing. I used $20,000 to pay this down to save $43,000 because it's money I was going to pay anyway. All right. This is equity. I just got all this equity for only a little less than $4,000. Otherwise, to get this equity, I would have to give the bank $47,000 to get it. Which way is better? Which way is better to you? So now, what if I don't do anything until I pay this money back to myself? If I borrow $20,000 to accomplish this fact, if I do that, then how long is it going to take me to pay myself back if I'm putting $5,000 away every month? Yeah, that's right. It'll take me 4 months to put that money back. Remember, if I pay myself back in 4 months, here's my question. Could I borrow another $20,000 from myself and do the same thing again? Pay myself back in another 4 months and do it again? Pay myself back in another 4 months and do it again? Oh my goodness. That's what we're talking about here, folks.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.